Are you a horse girl? Me too. Hi, I'm Trixie Mattel. Let's dip into the horse girl collection. Hi, it's Trixie Mattel. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hi, it's me. But today, we're gonna jump into a brand new collection at Trixie Cosmetics. I will say probably like real makeup companies, they probably produce ideas in a very serious way. It's probably a focus group, probably a lot of research involved. We do things a little differently. We throw around ideas as jokes until we decide that we've taken it too far. I think us doing something kind of Western, and especially doing something kind of dorky Western, we knew this was coming. It's our ode to the horse girls of the world. You know that girl. You know, who is she? She's Misty Quigley, that girl from your elementary school who always had that binder with horses on it. She didn't have a horse, but she really wanted one. In my school, her name was Savannah. I remember all she talked about was wanting a horse. I wonder if she ever got that horse. And this collection, the idea for it was just something a little more cartoony and sweet, and I think we nailed it. The colors are beautiful. The vibe, the energy, the packaging. You guys know with our makeup, we really care about the storytelling. I would watch this movie, and I'm about to convince you to watch this movie. So before I start swatching here, please subscribe to the channel. I'm not always trying to sell you things, but we also have tons of incredible free content where I sit in my house and scream. So I think with any collection, we should start with the pièce de résistance. For this collection, it is the Horse Girl palette. This is another one of our 12 pan shadow palettes. The same size as Bottle Blonde, or Plant Gay, or Extravaganza, or Juno Birch. I'll open it for you guys so you can get a good look here. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, this palette is completely vegan and cruelty-free, but it is gonna make you want to gallop around your house like a horse, so good luck with that. Is that a complete color story or what? I mean, listen, you could go really glam and sexy with this palette, but it is very like flush, and I think this palette has like an innocence to it. There's a sweetness to it. It's a little bit Woody's Roundup. It's a little bit Yee-haw Cowgirl at Trixie Motel. There's a lot of sweetness in this palette. So as usual, our 12 pan palettes are $48. $48, wow. Listen, you guys have to remember, I'm a 6 foot tall man. This is a huge palette. My hands are huge. I can palm a basketball. Look at this sucker. Giant. We really try to make like queen size, you know, palette shades in our palettes because when you have a favorite, I don't want you to hit pan quickly. I have it on today, of course. Wow. I mean, if I can make this look good, you're gonna look great. Let's start swatching. By the way, my wig isn't totally glued on. If we lose the wig, we lose the wig. Whatever, it's not about the wig. I have a hate-love relationship with swatching because the internet's obsessed with swatching, but I'm sorry, if the way you apply makeup is jamming your finger into it and swatching across your eyelid, I don't super trust you anyway. We don't use makeup the way we swatch. So I think as a makeup community, we need to kind of like take swatching with a grain of salt, but I will swatch for you. So with Horse Girl, we have 12 beautiful shades here. I will say the color story is a very dusky, it's kind of like cowgirl by way of California energy. It's very Southwestern energy. I couldn't have dreamt up a more accurate horse girl vibe than this palette, so. And as usual, if you go to the Trixie Cosmetics Instagram, you can always see our swatches on a variety of skin tones. Some people even shave their arms. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. They get what they get. I like to work left to right here, and our first shade is a very neutral, it's a very nice, beautiful vanilla shade. So we're not exactly starting with a bang, but you gotta follow me here in the color story. So this first shade is called Sugar Cube. Now it's very close to my skin tone, so don't adjust your TV sets. It is kind of a satin matte finish with a very slight soft glitter. It looks like the feeling of a sugar cube dissolving on your tongue. That's how it looks. Great way to start any eye look. Beautiful on the brow bone, beautiful on the tear duct, beautiful all over the lid. I mean, don't get me wrong, very essential. The reason why this type of color gets reached for a lot. This is a very smooth formula with these very light vanilla style shades. It's important to have a formula that looks very buttery on, almost like a cream shadow, so it doesn't accentuate. I know for me, I have a lot of dryness in my lids, and I have to be careful with types of shades like this, but this one I can tell you is super buttery. I look so pretty today. Not important, we're swatching. The next shade is called Hey Girl, and this is where we're really gonna start to add some depth. Now, you know that I love these types of colors. You ever hear that gay joke that's like, what do gay horses eat? Hey. I mean, it's not a great joke, but isn't that beautiful? That kind of like over-baked creme brulee. It has some beautiful depth to it. If you were weaving a wicker basket from the flesh of peaches. Am I a serial killer? Sometimes I'm trying to describe shades and I'm like, did that make sense? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Well, listen, we're not one of those companies where we call orange eyeshadows orange. This is the color of the hay bale you sit at when your face is covered in freckles and you're single at the debutante ball and a farmer comes up and asks you to dance, and then you get married and you have 14 children. That's fun. Moving right along. The next shade is where we start to get funky and nasty. This shade is beautiful. It took my entire self-control to not wear this as blush today. Spoiler alert, there might be a blush coming. This shade is called Western Pleasure. Gorge, right? I mean, it's very Western, very the deepest shades of a sunset, electric watermelon falling off a covered wagon. Beautiful. You guys know at this company and in my life, I think pink is a neutral, and that could be me being delusional, but whatever. Sweet tea. Fun fact, Western Pleasure is the name of a horseback riding style. I love what pink shadow does on people's eyes. It really forces like the honey green part of your eye to just, whoo, my fringe, ooh, my fringe. Moving right along, this is Hot to Trot. This palette is not all mattes, and so Hot to Trot is definitely a representative of that. Hot to Trot is beautiful. Imagine if you owned the brothel in the Western movie, but you were also the sheriff. Beautiful, right? It's not just metallic, it also has very tiny, tiny glitter pieces in it. So pretty, right? I mean, we like to leave you your imagination as a makeup applier, but there's a reason why I put this right next to Western Pleasure. You could wear this as blush. On deep skin, I love like wetting a brush a little bit and then going into a shimmery shadow. Love the look of like shimmer shadow as blush. Have always loved it, will not apologize for it. I know it's an eyeshadow, but I'm always trying to stick things where they're not supposed to go. All right, the next shade name is Crazy. You know, sometimes somebody's on their high horse, Casey Musgrave's high horse, but then we also live in a world of high gay. And so this is High Horse. High Horse is a super high shimmer metallic cool bronze. You guys, in my early 20s, this was like my go-to like hungover, slather it on my eyes and go work at the mall type of color. Isn't that beautiful? It's like you supercharged a glass of chocolate milk. It's so pretty. It looks like I just lacquered a deck chair. Love, 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 love. I don't have to convince anyone here that a shimmery brown eyeshadow is very useful. This is like a red carpet, beautiful color. All right, the last one on the top row here is called Cult Classic. We could not do a yee-haw palette without a nice, deep, rich, like coffee bean color. Isn't that beautiful? Couldn't you pass away? I love cool browns like this. I mean, it's not too warm, not too cool. It's the color of a vintage saddle on the back of a horse. Next row here, we have our beautiful top row. This next shade is called She Biscuit. We could not do a palette like this without a true, beautiful yee-haw turquoise. If you've ever seen the yee-haw cowgirl room at the Trixie Motel, the teal is so like the base of the vibe in there, and I mean, we could not do it. And I'm so glad we made it frosty. I have it on my lids today. Well, my lids, you guys know that means glue across eyebrows on my forehead. Very, very buttery, very texture minimizing. With some frost shades, they can bring out texture. This one has such a, like a butter pigment to it. It really like, I mean, I have eyebrow glue. And look how it didn't really bring out the texture, it disguised it. I'm disgusting. You guys are real people with beauty in your life. If it looks good on me, you will look great. If Orville Peck was a girl, that's this color. Orvilla, super retro yee-haw, love that. It looks like Listerine tastes. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the high shine, so pretty. I'm not saying I have a favorite. I love this color, but I love blue eyeshadow, so whatever. All right, up next, this shade is called Hoedown, which I meant it in a Western way. Whatever you guys say and think, that's your journey. This is a wholesome company. So this shade Hoedown is beautiful. It is a buttery apricot suede. It really is like the color of a moccasin from heaven. When I was growing up, we would wear a lot of moccasins, obviously. A, because they're comfortable, but you know, I'm Native American, my grandma wore moccasins. And this makes me think of the girl moccasins always were a little more warm, a little more peach. They had like stones on them, beads, and I always wanted the girl moccasins. But look how pretty that color is. Isn't that beautiful? It's like the color of brioche French toast. Rub it all over my body. Beautiful. I mean, look at it next to that. Again, that blue really is blue, but the shades in this palette are so warm. They make those cool, icy, like ocean tones just jump out. All right, next shade is so beautiful, I might have a heart attack. The shade is called Rodeo Queen. I'm a queen. Orville Peck has a great song called Queen of the Rodeo. This shade is shimmer with pigment. So in the pan, it reads very pink with a gold shift. Especially when the light hits, you're really gonna see gold in this one. Gorge, right? In the shadow, you can really see the pink. And then when you turn it to the light, you get that big flash of gold. So as like a middle of the lid color, as a tear duct color, girl, you could wear this as a highlight probably. You could put on your shoulders. I mean, you know me, I'm always trying to use makeup for what it's not used for. All right, the next shade is one of my favorites. When there's like a red brown like this in a palette, it's my safe zone. It's my comfort area. This shade is called Stir Up Trouble, which is a fun little play on words, but I think it also has to do with when your foot gets stuck in a stirrup and the horse takes off without you and you lose the leg. I've watched a lot of Little House on the Prairie. Absolutely stunning and gorgeous. I'm sorry, this is such an essential makeup product color. This is the way you can wear depth on your eyes without it ever going too deep. Like, this is beautiful. The next shade is absolutely user-friendly. This is Giddy Up. This is what I have all the way across my lid and swept under. Giddy Up I used to buff out Stir Up Trouble, and it made getting ready so easy. It's like the color of baked pie crust. It's so pretty. It feels so organic. This feels like such an easy color to throw on. On fair skin, you could use it as just a really easy crease color. On deeper skin, this should just be a nice all over lid, warm up the eyelid, even out. I always feel like a shade like this is always gonna get used. This type of shade is exactly what I would take on tour because I know that my mind and my wellness can be in any state and I can make a color like this look beautiful. Finally, this last shade is a wacky Jackie shade. With our palettes, we really try to do a middle ground between usable, wearable, normal shades and weird shades, and this is definitely a weird one. This is Main Character, so pretty. Are you guys ready for this? I mean, this is kind of one of the best parts of this palette. This is what it would be like looking up, if you're laying on a mattress on a flatbed truck with your betrothed after you eloped and robbed a bank, this would be what the sky would look like. Oh gosh, so cool. So this is a real like rust base color, not a lot of pigment, very sheer, but it kicks back blue and purple. It's absolutely unique. As a makeup nerd, I know when I go makeup shopping, I look for colors like this. I look for something that doesn't look like anything I have. Shadows like this I've seen are more red brown and they kick green. This is like a real rust that kicks blue purple. So beautiful. Love this type of shade. This is a type of eyeshadow that people will go like, how did you do your eye makeup? What is that? What did you use? For shades like this that have like a red base that's very understated, if you put down something like Stir Up Trouble and then layer this over it, that red jumps out. This is a very shiftable, moldable shade. You can either make it the star of the look or you can buff it into a look and just shift another look. So this is the entire palette, all 12 shades in a row. Gorgeous, right? I'm really proud of this one. We've talked at the makeup company a lot about how this is kind of a lot of our favorites because it has a very clear direction. It has some really unique colors, but it has some very usable colors. My dream is to make a palette that makes you feel like every day is a Friday night, but you still feel like reaching for it every day. These are all of them in lower lighting. All these shimmery shades, once it's not so bright in here, you can see this has a true cream base. This has a true aqua base. This has a real, like, very, very soft ballet peach base. And you can see this has a rust base under there. It's a blue-purple shift, but it has a warm, neutral base. All right, so in addition to having a beautiful 12-pan palette for this collection that has totally blown my mind and changed my life, we also have our very first single blush. Now, you people are very vocal, and you've made it very clear that you want single blushes and you've wanted them for a long time. So we thought maybe our way to dip our baby toe into that would be releasing a brand new shade for this collection. So this shade is called Show Pony. It's still a queen size blush pan. It looks like if you took a giant pair of scissors and cut one of our blush palettes into 3. And who knows, this could be a light hint that we might be exploring more single blushes in the future. But let me tell you, when it comes to blush, Trixie Cosmetics, we never take our foot off the gas, okay? We're always innovating because blush matters. I'm gonna reveal the shade. Ooh, gorgeous, right? Beautiful. I mean, you went down to the Strawberry Social and you set yourself on fire. I mean, this is the color. So beautiful. This one is very buildable. I'll tell you, for somebody who has more pigment in the skin, this is very buildable. This can be very bold. Today I used a very light hand with a Trixie Cosmetics brush, and I buffed very slow circles because I didn't want to go too hot. But just for the sake of the video, I'm gonna put a little more on so you guys can see what it can build up to be. So our little compacts have a tiny mirror too, which is great. This blush has been pressed at a PSI that gives it a little bit of playtime. I know with bold blushes like this, the second sometimes you touch that brush to your face, it is married and it won't blend out. This is one of those blushes that you can probably buff it out to the point where people would never know you're wearing a hot blush like this. It has some DNA to a watermelon. It has a warmth to it. It's so passionate. It's so beautiful. Do you see that? How the core of it is very hot, like a hot, beautiful pepper. But it has enough pink to it that we're not doing red cheeks. Look at that. Ooh. Let's do the other side. I have watched myself many videos where I put blush on one side and then forget. And then at the end of the video when I'm watching it, I'm like, interesting art you're making over there, Tracy. I had the instinct to put this much blush on all day, but I was waiting to do it on camera. I think that was really brave of me. Now, I wear a lot of contour and a lot of makeup in general. You can see what this blush looks like on beautiful normal people. Here, here, and even here. With this little eye makeup and kind of a neutral lip like this, I am obsessed. I love blush, and I love when people wear a lot of it. By the way, we're thinking of taking some of our blushes from our palettes and making them individuals. If you have a favorite from Just a Girl, Summer of Love, Mod About You, or Back to the Fuchsia, comment below because I want to make some of them individuals. And if there's one that any of you guys are shopping for, I would love to know. Because I'm like you with my Summer of Love palette, I tend to run through my middle shade before I run through my highlighter, let's say, so I'm with you. Now, in the spirit of the yee-haw, we had to do a beautiful lip color. This color I have on is called Eden. Now wait, you might recall that we have done Eden, yes, as a lipstick. This lipstick was named after our very first full-time employee, Eden, who has since moved on. That sounds like she died. She works for Katya now. I don't know what's worse. Well, I can tell you what's worse. Eden is so beautiful. It rides the line between neutral, warm, cool. I'm just gonna swatch you guys. Super muted. It has a brown, purpley mauve kind of base. The liquid, we now have the liquid. This is the packaging. It's Eden lipstick as you know it, but poured as a liquid and in this gorgeous, gorgeous packaging. Isn't that pretty? Looks just like one of our usual lipsticks, but we did kind of a monochromatic neutral thing, and I kind of like live for it, honestly. So if you love Eden or you love neutrals, but you need something long wearing, for performing, for DJing, I love wearing liquids because, I mean, I'm wearing big plastic hair, I'm sweating, I'm whipping it around in my face, and with liquids, you just do have a little more security, I feel. If you're going to dinner, if you're gonna be having multiple glasses of wine, you know, it's nice to know that your lips are gonna stay exactly where you put them. So this is a liquid version of Eden. You can see in the liquid version, we get a little more depth of color. The bullet version is a very soft matte, and the liquid lip version, it really functions more like a lip paint. I mean, you're really gonna see more coverage on the first swipe. I didn't even dip twice today, and I draw my lips on obscenely large, and I didn't even dip the product twice. This is also a new version of our liquid formula, which now has jojoba oil, which is a lovely humectant, binds moisture to the skin. It's a moisturizing agent, and it's all natural. There's a reason why in cosmetics world, jojoba is in so many products because it agrees with a lot of people's skin types, and it does its job binding moisture to the skin. This is one of my favorite lipsticks we've done. And you guys know, if you watched the Juno Birch video, we are emotionally preparing to say bye to Junebug, and now that this is back, I'm like, Junebug? I don't even remember her. Who's Juno Birch? She doesn't matter. She doesn't watch this channel. Eden is $16, the same price as all of our other lipsticks. I'm telling you, if you missed the Eden cream lipstick the first time, or if you love Eden lipstick, do not miss this. Get a couple. I know that this will sell out, and I don't want you to be mad at me on the internet. But if you wanna get everything, we're doing a Horse Girl bundle that has the palette, the lip color, and the blush. We're doing it for $64. So if you're one of those girls that just needs everything, and I know you exist, because the day we have launches, those bundles go in the blink of an eye. It seems like no matter how many we make, they go immediately. I'm trying to help you. If you want everything, save yourself $20 about and just get the full thing. But set an alarm, honestly. We launch at 10 a.m. this Thursday, and I'm telling you, the bundle will probably be the first thing to go. So if you want everything, order by like 10:05. If you're at work, take a long pee break. I'm not promoting time theft, but I'm trying to help you. So in addition to fabulous cosmetics products, you guys know we have always great merch to add to the storytelling, and the first item is very cool and very different than anything we've ever done. We have a notebook for your dreams, notebooks for your work, notebook for your life. This is college ruled, so I do think that, you know, if you're at Princeton or Yale, this is perfect to just like take notes in class. I know because I went to a state school, so I think I know a lot about Ivy League educations. Well, I watched Legally Blonde. That's about as much as I know. Hardcover with all this gold detailing here, 200 pages. Listen, I went to school with horse girls. I know how much stationery matters to you. I'm looking out for you, gal. It's a nice hardcover. I'll probably stick this in my backpack and use it on planes. I write a lot of music on planes, write notes to myself on planes. They're just very useful. And for all of you who watch the makeup channel and always comment, I love these videos even though I don't wear makeup, I'm looking out for you. This is 15 bucks. It's so cute. It just makes, it's got the gold binding. Do you guys see that? It just makes me want to write down my thoughts and feelings. So if you see, the paper has gold edges too. So cool, right? Notebooks. Give this to anybody in your life who has something they need to write down. And now it's time for fashion. Now, if there's one thing I know about queer people, women, straight men, everybody has a use for a bandana. We have 2 bandanas coming out in this collection. This beautiful baked honey shade with gingham, gorge, right? I mean, this is really some yee-haw vibe. This is perfect if you're like a bartender of craft cocktails and you wanna do this, like the hipsters. If you're gay, I know a lot of gay people like to roll these up and be this girl. Yeah, gay guys love to do this, which I think means I go to Hot Dog Sunday at El Cid in Los Angeles on Sundays. It's a very like East Hollywood vibe. you know? Oh, I kind of love it. Great to hide an Adam's apple, I'll tell you that. These come together as a set, so in addition to this beautiful gilded butterscotch, so pretty. We have something a little more traditional. From afar, this one looks like almost a cartoon version of like a hanky, right? But then when you get close, you guys, I don't know if you can see the details here. We have little hearts, little lipsticks, little cactuses, little high heel cowboy boots, little guitars. You guys know country music and yee-haw stuff was like my first love. It's where I came from. You can tell like, this is my vibe. So pretty, right? Like a Rosie the Riveter vibe, tie your hair up with it. So these two come in a set for $22. Now when we did the Juno bandanas, those were like a satin. These are a true like yee-haw linen feel. So finally, I am always surprised at the way people jump at the clothing in our collections. I mean, for our game face collection, that hat went in 2 seconds. That hat came out on a Thursday. The next night I was at Rayos in Hollywood with David, we're having dinner. David goes, no. And I go, what? He goes, that guy over there has your hat on. I said, that hat came out yesterday. I walked up and said, how did you get this hat? He said, I ordered it the second it came out. And then I'm wearing it today because it came this morning because the shipping is so fast. So we have a beautiful light cream crew neck. Beautiful, right? Has a nice little hook in the back for hanging because especially for these like jersey knit stuff, it's not great to like throw this on a hook. It kind of puckers after a while. So cute, lightweight, very soft. I know I would buy this in like a 2XL because I would want to wear it like in the evenings, kind of big. $45, and you know for apparel, we usually don't do that many. So if you want this, again, just get it first thing in the morning. This will probably be gone by the first day or two. I'm just being honest. We're a makeup company whose clothing goes first sometimes, so I don't know. Okay, so just to wrap up, in the cosmetics department, we have the stunning 12-pan Horse Girl palette, $48. We have our very first single blush in this watermelon shade Show Pony, as well as our liquid version of Eden lipstick for $16. Or you can get the entire bundle for $64. In addition to the cosmetics, we also have the world's cutest notebook. I mean, I'm sorry. It's giving everything you would want it to give, and it's so cute. $15, perfect for that like notorious note taker in your life, maybe somebody who's a fan of the channel who doesn't wear makeup, or maybe for you to just put your grocery list in. It can be for anything. You can signal hanky code to your peers for only $22, this gorgeous baked butterscotch gingham, or this traditional but Trixie-ified bandana. So cute. And finally, we have the world's cutest crew neck, this yee-haw little horse girl crew neck. So sweet, so cute. Thank you guys once again for joining us for another successful reveal. I will see you guys at the Trixie Cosmetics website at 10 a.m. this Thursday. And then my favorite part of the collection launch begins when you guys start receiving products over the weekend into the next week and you start doing looks with them, and it all becomes very worthwhile. We at the office, on Instagram, everywhere, we pay attention. We love seeing what you guys imagine. No matter how much we think about a product, y'all figure out some way to do a look we never would have thought, and it always blows our minds. People really incorporate our palettes into their world, their personal style, their life, and they really get a whole life of their own. I mean, until you guys have them in your makeup bag, they're just products in a box. The products really come alive when you get them, and I will see them on your faces next week sometime. Okay, I'm Trixie, I'm leaving now, bye.